with the Sammy and Mark show on Sunday. And in case people don't know, we broadcast on Sunday or Saturday, the Saturday show, right? At noon.
It's
And
Sunday.
No, Sunday. Obviously, I don't know what day it is. But so Sunday at noon, right, Sammy?
Yes.
And what's our purpose?
To kind of let people know what we're doing, what we're all about. Let people know we're here to help them.
I am going to change my live on TikTok. Live with Sammy. Ask us anything about graphics design.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm going to go live on TikTok.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to actually stream that so that they can peek at what we're doing. And that's a little bit crazy. So hopefully they're going to watch the Sammy show with us. And everything's a commercial, is a vertical orientation.
Yeah, on TikTok.
It's so weird. Everything is a vertical orientation on the new media.
Mm-hmm.
And everything's a landscape orientation on old media.
Yep.
So TV and YouTube videos is like 50-50. And all right, this is kind of a weird. I've been doing this. I've been doing the simulcast on TikTok with my other shows and a couple of my other clients. And what we are experiencing is a live on TikTok. I've been having the camera on me on TikTok and not on the live stream. So this is inaugural. This is the first time I'm going to just let TikTok look at the studio software.
Gotcha.
Because I think it's more interesting for the TikTok people to not only see me and what I'm talking about, but also the guests that I'm talking to. And one of the realtors that I work with, who is a monster on TikTok, he does tours on TikTok, and he gets a huge following looking at these houses in small town Oklahoma.
Oh.
And he is doing some lives because he has such a huge audience. However, the lives are not as effective because he's just trying to answer the streams of questions.
Gotcha.
And it gets kind of boring. It's like, oh, hey, Joey. Hey, Fred. Hey, how you doing? Oh, thanks for the roses or whatever. No one cares. You know, they want to hear stories and they want to have interaction. That's the thing that's interesting.
Yeah.
You know, there's some TikTok advertising with a live genre that makes sense. And that is some kind of manufacturing. They leave a live going. Some kind of restaurants, you know, where you get a phone and a feed and you're just kind of streaming the cooking of the food in a restaurant. That
Gotcha.
makes sense. People are watching, oh, look, here's what they're doing or whatever. And that makes sense because they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm going to go down to that restaurant because, Seth is making this certain kind of sandwich or whatever. And that's good. And
Yeah.
what you would do, Sammy, is actually make some marketing tchotchke of the menu and the overlay on the video.
Mm-hmm.
And then people could say, oh, we're streaming 405 Burger in Oklahoma, and you make the 405 overlay and then the corresponding menu stuff.
Gotcha.
And then the other window could just be a menu, and another window could just be a guest shot of how busy the restaurant is, that kind of thing. And people just watching what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. Like, for instance, there's Stoops. He plays for OU, and he's in there having a burger at the restaurant. Maybe I'm going to go down there while those guys are down there.
Yeah.
And it provides a stream, and it's useful content, and we can build that at the marketing company for smaller businesses. And your role is to make all of that stuff that goes along with those innovative marketing concepts. Because what we don't want to do in marketing is we don't want to bore the customer.
Exactly.
That's the worst thing.
Yeah.
So typically what you and I do at the agency, just for people to know, is that it's a 10-second video before, 10-second video during, and a 10-second video afterwards. And then our clients send us, whatever they do, like their concrete project, and we sew the videos together and then put this overlay, like this Marketing Hope logo.
Yeah.
Or if it's their business, we do, something else. Like I'm trying to get this insurance company on, and we lay over their logo, which, I'll be honest with you, is in desperate need of some Sammy help. These are good friends of mine, so I won't leave it up there too long, but that is not a great logo. Okay. So I'm going to go to one of my favorite ones right here. That's a Sammy design. Mm-hmm. And that's an example of something that would stream while we're live on something else.
Gotcha.
But part of the problem that happens with these businesses is they're not thinking about what their client needs. There we go. They're not thinking about what their client needs. They're thinking about streaming activity, and generally they collect a bunch of competitors that are trying to learn what they're doing.
Gotcha.
Like, for instance, there's a CNC guy that we work with, and he makes these signs that he sells on Etsy and different places. And he does this long, protracted, how do you set up the CNC machine and that kind of thing. Customers don't care about that. Customers do not care. The competitors that want to see how you do your thing, they care. Mm-hmm. But the customers, they don't care. And so what happens is that you need to have a call to action for the customers, meaning what is the problem? Mm-hmm. And how do we fix it? And then we show them how we're fixing the problem. And then we show the problem being totally fixed. And so I'm going to pull this up over here. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. No, good. I always use the simplest.
Dude, you're in your 40s. You shouldn't swear so much.
Yeah, he shouldn't. Okay. So it's not letting me.
Dude, you're in your 40s. You shouldn't swear so much.
No, that's not working. Okay, sorry, I was distracted. But I was trying to get the YouTube video to mirror here so I could tell more what's going on. But that's why this live thing is so good, because they can see that it's not polished and perfect, and that's what we're going for. But if the power washing guy, we're trying to make content of, you know, how they do it or whatever, what machine it is, you know, no one cares. No one cares about that. What we want to see is we want to see 5 seconds or 10 seconds. And then the finished product. And that is true of still photography, right?
Yeah.
And this is your area, before and after. And we take an image, and you get 2 images to Sammy, and she makes a cross cut of before and after. And that is powerful.
Oh, yeah.
You know, a house that's not painted and then a house that's painted. You know, and it shows how it's protected. But that's how much attention span we have nowadays. We have, you know, 5 seconds.
Yep.
And if you can catch us in 5 seconds, then you've got us. Otherwise, we're gone. So you show them, you know, the before and after of their actual work. And that's the thing that is most important with our clients, is your people in the field need to be taking pictures.
Oh, yeah.
And get them to Sammy. And then she does the overlay that puts out your business message when people are being entertained by the before and the after. So everybody in the field needs to be taking video and pictures, and then it gets to Sammy for the magic that happens. And so if it seems like I'm rubbing my face, I've got dry skin from this renal failure.
Gotcha.
Don't ever do that, by the way. And but it's a funny thing that happens in life. That's how Sammy and I met, because of my renal failure. Her husband, I met him just by chance at he was a manager at the country club, and he actually signed us up. And we were friendly with each other, and then he found out that I needed a kidney transplant. And he called me up and said, "Hey, I want to donate you one of my kidneys." And we really didn't know each other that well. And he said his dad needed a kidney, and he didn't get a chance to do it for him, and he always wanted to do it. And I ended up matching with my wife. But wow, that guy, what a kind and generous. I mean,
oh, yeah.
I've had people offer me to be tested for kidneys, and it's humbling. But her husband, Sammy's husband, you know, is just really a kind and wonderful person. And I don't know if he was getting tested, and I said, "Well, have you talked to your wife about it?" And here's what he says to me. Here's what the guy says to me. He says, "Well, let's see how close of a match I am, and then I'll talk to her." I'm like, "All right."
Yeah, he didn't tell me at first, and then when he told me, I was like, why didn't you tell me at the beginning? I was like, I would never have said no to you, but like, fill me in.
It was a little crazy that, you know, he didn't want to bother you with it in
Yeah.
case it was a match. But you know, that's the wonderful thing about friendships, and that's a wonderful thing about, you know, helping others. Sometimes you don't even have to help someone for it to be effective both ways. You know, he's not going to end up giving me a kidney in all likelihood. However, the power of him being willing to give it and me being available to receive that
Mm-hmm.
makes the bond.
Oh yeah.
And that is the beautiful thing in life. I mean, it is so powerful that people just don't understand. And that's one of the reasons that, you know, at the marketing company, we are so interested in helping other people, because the small gift that we give to them comes back to us, you know, a bunch, you know. And that's just a cool little story about our little company. But that's how Sammy and Big Papa met. And that's why I'm itchy, is because I'm in renal failure. So it's distracting, but that's what it is. So what else you want to talk about? Tell me about Nationwide.
Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on there? It's a new client that we have, and Sammy is doing a bunch of post-production work on their electrical parts.
Yeah, so they sell electrical parts. We have one team member that's working on the website, and they gave me a whole bunch of images for the products they're selling. So I got to work on all those photos, and those have been sent over to her to get on the website. And now I get to do the really fun part of working on their logo. And that's what I've kind of been sketching on lately, is just finding a fun, creative way to create their logo for them.
And you know, logos to me are fascinating. You see our little elephant design up
Mm-hmm.
here. That is our company representation for the show. The larger elephants are protecting the smaller elephants in business. And you know, a lot of times, you know, in business, there's vulture capitalists, and there's people that take advantage of small businesses, and they're not really protecting the smaller businesses to let them grow. But that's what we do. And so our logo has always been the big elephant and the small elephant. And this is what Sammy did for the show. But this, I'll switch it over to the marketing logo. But this logo is for the marketing company. We've had this company for longer than I hate to, since 93. But if you see this logo, it has the M here for marketing and the H for hope designed into it. But then this line that says growing sales right here for our marketing company is actually the trunk of an elephant and the tail. So it's really, you know, wild stuff with these logos. And a lot of times you don't realize that the logo has something until you look at it, you know, deeper, right?
Yeah.
So you're doing something with Nationwide.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any ideas that you want to share with us that you're working on?
Yeah, I got a couple. I don't know if I can show my sketch on here. Is that possible?
You can share the screen. See the little dots underneath?
Little dots.
There's a microphone and a camera, and right in the middle there's a
Oh,
screen.
share screen. Okay, let me pull up the photo and then I'll do that. Ooh. Try not to knock my computer over.
Yeah, don't have your picture from Halloween on there.
Oh.
We went to the Halloween party at the country club, and Sammy and her husband came, and probably did you guys win some kind of prize?
Not that I
went
know
to bed
of.
early. I went to bed early. But you guys were absolutely the best costume ever at that party.
Okay. Okay. Can you see that?
Yeah, I have to authorize it and turn it
Oh,
on.
gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you see that?
I can't see anything besides the picture.
That's all right.
Okay. So these are kind of all my sketches. So I started with kind of adding like the power symbol, like you're turning on an electrical device in the words. I played around with kind of like the extension cord idea, the lightning bolts for like energy. And then the bottom half is kind of playing around with the idea of like a light bulb. And then I played around with a little bit of color. Yeah, so that's what I've been working on.
Have you met with the client yet?
No, I just kind of got all this together. So I will probably message him tomorrow and have a meeting with him.
It'll be interesting to see what the client likes.
Exactly. Because it's like you're always going to have your favorites, but when you show it to somebody else, they always have a different way of viewing it. So it's really exciting.
I like the one with the button, the power button.
That one's my favorite.
Yeah, I like that too. I think, it's when it's simple enough,
Yes.
people get it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of fun. I like that.
Yeah, that one's my favorite. And then I kind of went out on a limb with some of the other stuff, but got to try it all out, see what works.
That's my favorite motto in not only our business but life and anything that is competitively focused, anything that you have to achieve anything at, is the theory that we never lose.
Mm-hmm.
We either win or we learn.
Yeah.
So you're in the idea business and you're throwing out 10 of these, ideas, and, you either win or you learn.
Exactly.
And you can't be offended if the client wants something different than what you want, because you're learning what they need.
Yeah.
And how they want it done. And they're, hopefully hiring an expert so they listen to us. A lot of times they don't.
Yeah.
At their peril. And, sometimes I fire customers because, they want me to be responsible for their results. And then they're not listening to the things that I'm telling them to do. And all of a sudden they want to hold us responsible for results, and that we're not running it. They are.
Yeah.
So don't blame me.
Mm-hmm.
If we say, here's our process for marketing and advertising, and those are two different things, and here's the strategy that we use, and then, the ownership says, oh, well, we want to come out with a yearly catalog that we mail out to all the customers. And it's like, okay, well, that's not how we do things. And, if you want to spend 80% of your ad budget on a catalog, then it's probably not going to be successful, and it's just not a fit with that customer. And they figure out that it's a loser and they learn. But, I know you're too young for this concept, but they used to print out the internet onto a paper and deliver it to people's houses every day.
Gotcha.
It was called they called it a newspaper.
Oh, yeah.
And I know it's fantastic, but they used to print out the entire internet, all the information, and put it on paper, and they used to send it to the people's house every day, if you can believe that. And we used to call it above the fold because the newspaper was folded in half. And if you got your message above the fold, then people were interested and they got grabbed, and then they would go read the rest of the article on the business section on page 4B or whatever it was. And a lot of people don't understand that it's that same way now, and social media is above the fold. So if we make a striking piece on the social media and they remember the logo and the branding and all that kind of stuff, then they'll go look deeper on landing page. And then they get a little bit more of the message that they want. And so we're just doing all of that electronically, and everybody tells me, they're like, oh, everybody's on their phone and nobody visits and blah, blah, blah. It's terrible. And normally it's boomers like me who are saying all that stuff. Oh, they're on their phone or blah, blah, blah. Well, let me tell you something. If you go look at a picture of a train in 1940, what are you going to see? Everybody's reading a book or looking at a newspaper. And just because it's not a phone doesn't mean everybody was so interactive with each other. They were looking at the media of the time. So as a marketing company, we have to shift to the media of the time. And it used to be newspapers and it used to be yellow pages. You know what a yellow page is?
Is that the book that has like everyone's name and number in it?
The phone book, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy that you are so far detached from the yellow pages, you don't really even know what it is. I used to spend like $30,000 a month in the yellow pages advertising a business.
Gotcha.
And now it doesn't matter. So crazy. So, one of the things that we deal with at the agency, and especially in your department, is the changing media. So a lot of people think, oh, we need to make a web page that's going to be looked at on a computer and blah, 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 blah. And it needs to give out all the information about the business. It's not true. Now it's people on their phones that we need to attract. And it's very important that they realize that people aren't getting their information on the websites anymore. It used to be we'd go look at the website, learn about the company, and decide what we're going to do. It's not that way anymore. By the time you get to a website, you want to buy. You've gotten your information on social. You've decided that you want to go with this company. They're the best one for you. The reviews are there. The pieces are there before, and then we go to the website and just show me where to buy. I want to buy. I'm ready to go. And so that's a challenge that we have like on your Nationwide account, their branding needs to bring in all of the people that want to buy electrical supplies. You know, they're not going to learn about it on the website, even though you guys are doing a website that sells products. They need to know they want to buy from Nationwide before they get there.
Yeah.
Why it is, what it is, all that other stuff. And so that means the social media, you know, the YouTube and LinkedIn and Instagram, those different things, they need to provide that question of higher service and why you want to buy your electrical supplies from this company. And that's what we do, is we pose those questions and we answer. And that's the most important thing that we do. And you do it visually with your craftsmanship. So we are running the $4.99 special still in October. That gives a business a chance to get branded, get started, get a show, and get the ads that they can share back to their social media. So reach out to me or Sammy if you want to get in on that deal. It's normally $7.99. It's on sale for $4.99, and we have 2 more days of October for you guys to get scheduled for that before that special ends. And do you want to have the final thought? Are you going to dress up in your costume again?
I don't know. I think we're out of paint for Seth, so might not.
What a crazy costume, you guys. Someday we might show it, but people were bald. Other people were painted gold. There were half naked people. It was crazy. And if enough of you guys chime in and ask to see it, maybe we'll show it on the show next week. But wow, that was a lot of fun. But are you, what kind of candy do you hand out at your house?
So we live in an apartment complex, so I don't think we're going to get any trick-or-treaters. So we'll probably go buy some peanut butter cups and eat them ourselves.
Gotcha. You know, my wife, and God love her, and I do love her, but she is a full-size candy lady. So as soon as the kids remember your house.
Oh, yeah, they come back.
Yeah, they do. And they also remember if you're the healthy house.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I still remember which house gave out the foot-long pixie sticks in my childhood neighborhood. Still remember which house it was.
And you love them.
Yeah, they're my favorite.
But then you also remember the house that gave out, toothpaste and a toothbrush.
Yeah.
And you're like,
never again.
That's not a good house. That's not good karma.
Yeah.
And there's a saying that says that you die twice in this existence, and you die once a physical death,
and
then you die again the last time somebody mentions your name.
Oh.
And that wavelength and that energy goes back to you wherever you're at. And if you have good things being said about you, then you get, resources that are good in that after world.
Gotcha.
If you have negativity and you're a bad person, then, you have that kind of energy coming that you have to pay the bill for. And I guarantee you don't want that Halloween toothbrush energy coming to you.
Definitely not.
Be nice. Everybody be nice. And that's our only rule that we have for anything that we do, is be nice and be easy to deal with, and be positive, and good things will happen for everybody. So, Sammy, thank you for the time. And I think we had a bunch of TikTok listeners, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to get a bunch of calls about that, a bunch of comments about that. And I want to say I love you, and I love working with you. And it was great to see you the other night. And if anybody needs anything, reach out to me and Sammy and Nicole and Kim and the whole crew. And we are here to help everybody.
Yes.
Have a good Sunday.
You too.